Buddha's relief and salvation for us. It is very difficult for the words spoken by Buddha from the far bank of enlightenment to reach the people still struggling in the world of delusion. Therefore, Buddha returns to this world himself and uses his methods of salvation. I will tell you a parable. Buddha said, once there lived a wealthy man whose house caught on fire. The man was away from home, and when he came back, he found that his children were so absorbed in play, had not noticed the fire, and were still inside the house. The father screamed, "Get out, children! Come out of the house! Hurry!" But the children did not heed him. The anxious father shouted again, "Children, I have some wonderful toys here. Come out of the house and get them." Heeding his cry, this time the children ran out of the burning house. This world is a burning house. The people, unaware that the house is on fire, are in danger of being burned to death. So Buddha, in compassion, devises ways of saying them. Buddha said, "I will tell you another parable. Once upon a time, the only son of a wealthy man left his home and fell into extreme poverty. When the father traveled far from home in search of his son, he lost track of him. He did everything he could to find his son, but in vain. Decades later, his son, now reduced to restlessness, wandered near where his father was living. The father quickly recognized his son and sent his servants to bring the wanderer home, who was overcome by the majestic appearance of the mansion. He feared that they were deceiving him and would not go with them. He did not realize it was his own father. The father again sent his servants to offer him some money to become a servant in their rich master's household. The son accepted the offer and returned with them to his father's house and became a servant. The father gradually advanced him until he was put in charge of all the property and treasures, but still the son did not recognize his own father. The father was pleased with his son's faithfulness, and as the end of his life drew near, he called together his relatives and friends and told them, "Friends, this is my only son, the son I sought for many years. From now on, all my property and treasures belong to him." The son was surprised at his father's confession and said, "Not only have I found my father, but all this property and treasures is now mine." The wealthy man in this parable represents Buddha, and the wandering son all people. Buddha's compassion embraces all people with the love of a father for his only son. In that love, he conceives the wisest methods to lead, teach, and enrich them with the treasures of enlightenment. Just as rain falls on all vegetation, so Buddha's compassion extends equally to all people, just as different plants receive particular benefits from the same rain. So people of different natures and circumstances are blessed in different ways. Parents love all their children, but their love is expressed with special tenderness toward a sick child. Buddha's compassion is equal toward all people, but it is expressed with special care toward those who, because of their ignorance, have heavier burdens of evil and suffering to bear. The sun rises in the eastern sky and clears away the darkness of the world without prejudice or favoritism toward any particular region. So Buddha's compassion encompasses all people, encouraging them to do right and guides them against evil. Thus, he clears away the darkness of ignorance and leads people to enlightenment. Buddha is a father in his compassion and a mother in his loving kindness. In their ignorance and bondage to worldly desire, people often act with excessive zeal. Buddha is also zealous, but out of compassion for all people, they are helpless without Buddha's compassion and must receive his methods of salvation as his children. Hari Om Tat Sat.